Hey folks, you hear that sound? Well, that is the sound of the transmitter that's inside Zoe the rattlesnake. And she has moved. It's the first time she's moved this year. She's been in hibernation since, let's see, the last day I saw her was mid-November of 2011. And now she's come out. She's come out early. I would say, well, the turtles have started coming out, and so far Utsanati, the male rattlesnake, has not come out of hibernation. So this is interesting. I haven't found her yet, but she's somewhere up here, up on this hillside. So let's find her. It's pretty cool right now, so I don't think I'm going to have to worry about her being very active. But one never knows, so I still need to be extremely cautious. I'm very close. It's starting to rain. I'm going to have to turn the camera off until I find her. Well, Zoe has moved a couple of 100 feet up the mountainside heading back towards Earthshine, and she's back inside this old root mass here from this old dead tree. She was here in the fall before she headed down to where she spent the winter. So it's very interesting that she has come back to this exact spot where she was several months ago, back in, I guess it would have been early November of 2011. Well, that's all I can say for now. I can't see her. She's not on the surface, but over there is a massive amount of rain heading my way. I've got to get off this mountain. See you next time. Hey folks. Well, it's turtle tracks and snake tracks update for spring 2012. Some interesting stuff's been happening lately because, well, we really didn't have a winter. We didn't have any snow to speak of, and it seems like we skipped spring and went right into summer. It has been in the 80s in March, and it's April the 3rd now. It's probably about 79 degrees right now. Thunderstorms all around. It's been beautiful weather, but it has brought the reptiles out earlier this year, around 2 to 3 weeks earlier than the past 5 years. So let's go take a look at everybody and see what their status is as of today. So let's check on Catherine and see how far she's moved since the last day I located her when she was still in hibernation. Well, I found her. She's down here in the dog hobble, and you can see her just barely right there. There she is. I'm not going to pick her up because I did not bring my scale today, but she's moved about 220 feet from her hibernation location way over there, down on the side of the mountain near the firing in the group initiatives course. And she's heading right up there to Catherine's place. Well, that's no big surprise to me because she does the same thing every year. As soon as she wakes up, she makes her way down through the valley and up over the hill to Catherine's place. And then she'll stay there a while and mate with whoever she happens to find here on the mountain. And then she heads up over the far ridge in the distance to lay her eggs in a small field where I believe she was born. So that's Catherine. She's out of hibernation. Let's go check on everybody else. Take a look. Here's Jimmy. He's come out of hibernation. And it's hard to see him, but there he is. That's the back of his shell. He's tucked up underneath some old blackberry canes here on the side of the mountain. I was not able to see him. I don't have my scale, so I'm not going to pick him up until I have my scale and I can weigh him. But considering he's moved over 120 feet in the last 5 days, I think he's doing well. He's probably over here to catch some sun because it's a little bit open canopy here in this power line access way. And in these old rotting canes, I'm sure there's going to be food items for him to feed on. Hey folks, well, Mrs. Bones has woken up from hibernation and she's moved about 63 feet to the southeast, and she's heading back towards her summer location where she spends most of her time down by the road. Here she is. Take a look at her. She's down here under this mountain laurel shrub. She's down here sheltering under this mountain laurel shrub. Her back's covered in dirt from hibernation. And you can see there's a little bit of a form behind her there. So she's been here a few days. I haven't been here in about a week, so she's probably been out of hibernation for several days. Now, it did rain yesterday, and I would have thought it would have washed the dirt off of her shell, but she may have been up under the pine needles at the time. I'm not going to pick her up and check her out right now because I didn't bring my scale to weigh her, but I will be checking her in the next week to see what her health status is. But we'll leave her alone and go check on the other turtles. Now, Mr. Bones, I've not been able to locate his signal all winter. Also, we did not have any snow this winter, so I was unable to use my metal detector the way I wanted to. I was hoping that a big coating of snow would push the vegetation and leaves down nice and flat, and then I could use the metal detector to attempt to find him. But it didn't happen. So maybe next winter. Maybe we'll find him again this summer, hopefully. We're going to keep our eyes open. Wish us luck on finding Mr. Bones. Hey folks. Well, it's Timber Rattlesnake Tracks Day 25, and I'm tracking Utsanati and Zoe. And first I've come down here to look for Utsanati, who's been in hibernation since last fall. And, well, he's moved. He spent the winter right here in this location, somewhere underground underneath this rhododendron. And I'm not sure exactly where he was underground. I was never able to see him inside of his hibernation location, his hibernaculum, but it was somewhere underneath these branches. So I've got to be very careful. He is somewhere that direction. Let's go find him. I'm getting really close. Looks like he's going right up the ridge. My signal is showing that he's extremely close to this location. So I need to be extremely careful. He's got to be within feet of where I'm standing. There he is. Right there. See the coils? Just sitting out here sunning. Do you see him? He's right there in the middle of the screen. He looks good. His eyes look clear. Nostrils don't have any discharge. He looks really good. Doesn't look like he's shed his skin yet. See, his back looks all muddy. They usually will come out of hibernation and shed, getting in anticipation of the year. I suppose it's like getting your new spring wardrobe. Look at his rattle. And he is holding true to his behavior for last year. Quiet, flattened against the ground, unmoving, hoping that I will go away. I'm totally certain that he is aware that I'm here. I'm only about 10 feet away from him. So he's moved about 65 feet to the east of his hibernation location, which is straight down through the laurels. Now I believe he's moved up to this area because it's catching some sun. You can see, I don't know if you can really tell on the film, but about 65 feet to the west where he hibernated, it's in the shade right now. So my theory is that he's moved over here to catch some sun and warm up. It looks like that's exactly what he's doing right now. So it's good to see that he's out on the move, and next time we locate Utsunati, we'll weigh him and see what his weight is after hibernation. This is some really refreshing spring water that bubbles up out of the ground right here underneath this ancient old rhododendron bush. Now, I don't normally drink water out in the woods, but I'm just so remote that I don't worry about it out here. I've never gotten sick drinking water from these sites, so I believe either the water is perfectly clean or I've built up an immunity to whatever's in the water. But I don't recommend that if you live in the city and you've drank water from a municipal water source all your life, I don't recommend going out and drinking water in the woods, no matter how remote and how clean you think it is, because your system may not be able to handle it. Check it. Oh yeah, that's good. Sweet water. All right. Let's go find Zoe. She's somewhere way up that mountain. Well, look who I found on my way to find Zoe. I'm not 200 feet above the spring where I just had a drink, and I found this old box turtle just sitting here by this tree. Now I say old because this shell looks so polished. This turtle has been on this mountain a very long time. I'm going to pick it up and just look. Sorry to disturb you, old girl. It's a girl. This turtle looks familiar. I wonder if this is the turtle I found last fall when I was tracking Utsunati. Sure does look familiar. Wow. Look at the chew marks. Well, let me look back in my records and see if this is the same turtle. If it is, it sure has traveled to an incredible distance. It's very heavy for just coming out of hibernation. No, it is a different turtle. You can see by my notes. I don't know if you can make it out, but there's the plastron of the turtle I found on 9/26 of 2011, and here's the plastron of this old female. It's got a lot of chew marks, but it's a different turtle. So, even though they're similar, there is something here on this mountain that is chewing these box turtles up deep in the forest. Probably coyotes, I would think. We do have quite a few coyotes around here, and I bet it's coyote puppies playing. I don't know. Only the turtle knows. Well, I'm going to put her back, and say goodbye. There's no need to mark her for our capture, mark, and recapture study at Earthshine because she's so far away. I doubt we'll ever see her. But I'm gonna draw a little sketch of her shell just in case, and of course take photographs. We'll see you later, old turtle. Wow, what a peaceful existence out here in the forest. Until the crazy naturalist comes along and picks you up off the ground and looks at you. But exactly like you all should do if you ever find a box turtle in the forest, do like I just did. Put it back. This is where it needs to be. This is where it deserves to be. Where it lives. Leave it alone so it can play out its role in nature, in the great circle of life. Let's go find Zoe. Straight up. Boy, I tell you, a couple more weeks and all these huckleberries and blueberries are going to be fully leafed out, and I'm not going to be able to see the forest floor. And then it's going to be really tricky going through here. So I really need to get some snake chaps, or I'm going to get bitten for sure. Hope that doesn't happen today. Wow. She's probably within my field of vision here. I just can't see her. Oh, there she is. Just about stepped on her. Okay. See her right there? That was sweaty, scary. Yeah. I stepped on this dead stick here and it moved the ground and she flinched, and I saw her flinch and I jumped. Yeah. I really do need snake chaps. I think I'm going to go home and order some today. Let's get another closer look at her. Surprised she hasn't rattled, but I think she's just a little bit too cool. Yeah, that's her. I recognize her pattern anywhere. I wonder if there's any other rattlers laying around on the mountainside here with her. It's funny, now that I see her, she sticks out like a sore thumb. But as I was walking up the slope, you saw I just about stepped right on her. I was, well, 3 feet away. She could have bitten me if she wanted to, but she is acting more like Utsunati today, and I think because it was a cool night, she's trying to warm up. But this is the first look we've had at Zoe since last fall when we saw her sitting outside of her den in November. Zoe also looks healthy. She looks like she has a good weight about her, and I don't see any discharge from her nose either. Her eyes look clear. I don't think she's shed either. She looks a little rough and dingy. So hopefully in the next few weeks she'll shed and we'll get to see her new spring wardrobe. So that is snake tracks for today. Wow, did you see that? That was great. So to recap, before I get hit by a deluge of rain, it looks like the turtles and snakes have all come out early this year, 2-3 weeks early. And you know, it's due to this crazy warm weather. It's already spring. And so follow me throughout the rest of this warm spring, summer, and fall, and we'll follow in snake and turtle tracks and see what we can discover.